the first day of the fourth month of 2026. Happy new month. And of course, we are coming to you live and direct from our Lusaka studios located in Lusaka's Chalala Rockfield area, just off Shantumbu Road. And this is the ICU TV Wednesday edition of the Breakfast Show. I am your host, Misha Kinjakwa Edgars, and of course, on our transmission desk, we have Madam Chakobeva Miracle Msonda. It's good to have you joining us, and remember, you can be part of this conversation by just, getting interactive in the comment section, and we will be able to read your comments right here and right now. We are joining you live on ICU TV as well as ICU TV News, even on our YouTube channel, that is ICU TV Zambia. Now, what is on my mind today? And of course, in case you're wondering, I am alone, just like I was on Monday. What is on my mind is just a word of motivation, a word of encouragement, a word of upliftment, however you may wish to receive it. Do not despise small beginnings. Sometimes beginnings, don't come with grand entrances like fireworks and whatnot. Sometimes even just you receiving that happy birthday wish for those that were born on the 1st of April, and for those that are born today, that is the greatest beginning ever. And the Lord himself is encouraging us to never despise small beginnings, and you never know, sometimes it's always right to start climbing a tree from the bottom. We have different circumstances in our lives. Other people are climbing trees halfway because someone else has climbed that particular tree on their behalf. But all you need to do is to not measure your success using somebody else's lane. And this is a word that I bumped into the moment I opened my phone, and this is the word that I received from Rory Sanga, if you know her. Well, after this break, we jump into the headline pick.
We kickstart your day with our headline pick with the top stories making news.
Then we go deeper in our story pick, where we break down issues that matter the most to you.
From the Health Desk, we share simple tips to keep you healthy and informed.
For plus a fitness minute to get your body moving before the day begins.
And trending now, what's hot on social media?
Hello Zambia, my name is Amina Mutambo.
And I am Moluwa Eric J. Mwalamujende, and we bring to your screens the ICU TV Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much for tuning to the ICU TV Breakfast Show today, Wednesday, the first day of April 2026. And right about now, we are getting into the stories making headlines this morning. 12 charged with murder in Kalumbila mob justice. We also have Malawi seeks to learn from the Zambia National Service model. President Hakainde Hichilema targets regional resource-driven economic growth, and former Kasama MP Kelvin Sampa jailed for 3 years. Well, in sports news, we have Chipolopolo loses to Argentina in international friendly. And right about now, we are jumping into the main stories. 12 suspects have been formally charged with murder of Helen Kamutumbe, who died after being subjected to mob justice in Kisasa area of Kalumbila district over allegations of witchcraft. The Zambia Police Service Public Relations Officer Godfrey Chilabi confirmed that those charged among the suspects earlier apprehended by the law enforcement officers. Mr. Chilabi disclosed that 22 other suspects have been charged with riotous behavior, while 25 individuals have been released after investigations that they were found with no case against them. He further revealed that 257 suspects remain in police custody as investigations continue. Speaking to Diamond Media, Mr. Chilabi said the screening process is still going on to determine each suspect's level of involvement. He assured the public that the police are committed to ensuring that all those involved are thoroughly investigated and brought to justice. Meanwhile, families of the detained suspects have appealed to the police to expedite the investigations, expressing concern over the lack of updates in 7 days after their relatives were taken into custody. The families have called for greater transparency and timely communication, citing emotional and financial strain caused by the prolonged uncertainty. The case has drawn widespread attention with the killing of Helen Kamtumbe, leaving the Kisasa community in shock as investigations continue. Quite unfortunate, but that's a great move by the Zambia Police Service. And just as I've been saying, you are a teenager, you are a young person, you have nothing to do with the mob justice, you have nothing to do in wanting to take the law into your own hands. And I'm glad that the police and the law enforcement authorities are doing justice to see to it that this case stands as an example to would-be offenders. And just a word of advice, my fellow young people, long gone are those days when you would hear a mob outside, maybe, running after somebody or trying to do something. The best you can do once you see such incidents is stay away from mob situations. They are shouting, there's a certain word that they shout in these communities, and for the sake of TV, this is TV, I won't say that word. In case you hear that word, please, thief, yeah, that one I can shout. Thief, please, do yourself a favor. You never know. We are in the digital era. Once you're caught on camera, guess what? You're the first suspect. And to the families, please, even as you are appealing to the authorities to see the much needed transparency, please sit down with these people, these children, these youths. Sit down and reinforce the values, the morality, everything that makes us Zambian. Well, we move on to our next story. It is coming all the way from Malawi, as Malawi is pursuing closer cooperation with the Zambia National Service, with the Chief of Defense Force, General George Alexander Jafu, saying his country wants to learn from Zambia's model as it revitalizes its national service to strengthen roles in agriculture, fish farming, and security services. Beauty Nkonde has more in the following report.
Malawi is seeking closer cooperation with the Zambia National Service as it works to revitalize and expand its national service to better contribute to national development. Malawi Chief of Defense Force General George Alexander Jafu says his country is keen to learn from Zambia's model, particularly in areas such as agricultural production, fish farming, and security services, which can help make the institution more productive and self-sustaining. He noted that Malawi has already begun reforms, including partnerships with academic institutions in agriculture and the use of emerging technologies like drones to improve efficiency. General Jafu made the remarks during a 6-day benchmarking visit to the Zambia National Service when he and his delegation paid a courtesy call on ZNS commander, Lieutenant General Engineer Maliti Solochi II, at ZNS headquarters. He emphasized the need for continued collaboration in training, capacity building, and knowledge sharing between the two countries. Lieutenant General Solochi described the visit as a reaffirmation of strong ties between Zambia and Malawi, highlighting cooperation through the Joint Permanent Commission on Defense and Security and Staff Exchange Programs. He also stressed the role of defense institutions in supporting national development and called for enhanced cooperation in addressing emerging security challenges. For ICU TV News, I am
Congratulations to Malawi, and in most cases, as Zambians, we make jokes, we just make light moments to say Malawi is an extension of Chipata, and this is to say that we are one people, and I'm always happy to see such initiatives coming through, because at the end of the day, it is one Zambia, one Malawi, one Congo, one South Africa, one Africa. At the end of the day, we are one people. Well, in our next story, President Hakainde Hichilema says Zambia is set for significant economic growth beyond August 13, 2026, as government steps up efforts to harness natural resources across the country. Speaking during the Presidential Delivery Unit Day in Lusaka, the head of state outlined a strategy focused on leveraging resources in different regions to drive national development. President Hichilema noted that Zambia has recorded a steady progress since 2021, with the International Monetary Fund projecting real GDP growth of 5.8% in 2026. He said the growth will be supported by improved electricity generation and strong performance in the mining services and service sector. The president emphasized that government will prioritize strengthening regional economies by fully utilizing local available resources. He pointed to Luapula province as an example, citing its wetlands and grasslands as key assets with potential to boost economic activities. He reiterated that all provinces have valuable but underutilized resources, and expressed confidence that Zambia is on course to achieve sustainable economic expansion with potential to double its economy in the coming years. I like the line where the president said each province is valuable, and an example is these 5 fingers. So these 5 fingers, no finger is less of a finger than the other. Guess what? When I want to hold this pen, all these fingers are coming together in order to see to it that the coordination of me holding the pen and writing properly is ensured. And so it is with regards to Zambia. All the 10 provinces are equal, and they are equal in value. It's just a word that the head of state made mention of. We tend to underutilize these provinces because we measure the success of each province based on another province. And I like the fact that the president is assuring us to say in the coming years we will see more of the utilization of each province. Isn't that the success? Well, this story brings us to the very first set of commercials. On the other side, we have more stories coming your way.
The Information and Communications University is complementing government effort in promoting legal and safe mining for all Zambians. ICU is offering a short practical training course to artisanal and small-scale miners and those who intend to venture into mining. This training covers identification of rocks and minerals, mining operations and equipment, health and safety in mining, environmental protection, licensing and compliance. Qualifications: National Registration Card NRC. Apply now at www.icuzambia.net. For more information, contact the ICU School of Mines, Department of Artisanal and Small-Scale Mining at +260 763 302 596 or +260 973 263 492. For analysis of mineral samples, contact the ICU School of Mines Laboratory at +260 973 263 492 or +260 977 833 434.
Thank you so much for staying tuned to the ICU TV's Breakfast Show today, Wednesday, the first day of April 2026. Now, it is not a one-man's show. It has more to do with you, my dear viewer. You can be part of this conversation by making use of that keyboard on your phone and just dropping a comment in the comment section, or just tell me whatever it is that is in your mind or among the stories that I'm reviewing right now. Just tell me in case you've got 2 cents on it. And as we move on, we have the Lusaka Magistrates Court has sentenced the former Kasama Member of Parliament Kelvin Sampa to 3 years imprisonment with hard labor in multiple charges. The Lusaka Acting Chief Resident Magistrate Irene Wishimanga convicted Mr. Sampa on theft by agent, illegal possession of forged banknotes, and possession of paper or implements of forgery, contrary to the laws of Zambia. However, the court acquitted Mr. Sampa on one count of theft by agent involving 70,000 US dollars allegedly belonging to the investor Kiniro Fagushima. The ruling marks the conclusion of a high-profile case that has drawn public attention, with the court affirming the need to uphold accountability under the law. All right, so on this one, let me move on to the next story. This is coming all the way from the Bank of Zambia. The Bank of Zambia has announced that effective April 1st, which is today, all the banknotes will cease to be legal tender and will no longer be accepted for exchange. The announcement comes pursuant to the Bank of Zambia withdrawal and exchange of currency regulations of 2025. Now, in a statement, Governor Danny K. Kalyalia expressed appreciation to the public, the business community, banks, and NatSave for their cooperation during the year-long currency transition process, which ran from March 31st, 2025 to March 31st, 2026. The governor also reiterated the bank's commitment to maintaining a secure and efficient national currency. Now, this story is reminding me of a story that I brought to you on a Monday, where businesses were, in these in Lusaka CBD rather and our other areas, the business owners were refusing to accept odd notes. So in case you've got that odd note, the best you can do is just to take it to the bank, and the bank is in the right frame or in the right state to see what they can do with it. And today is the last day, and these odd notes will no longer be accepted. And in case you've got those notes, those monies, please just take them to the relevant authorities. Well, we move on, and you're still tuned in to the Icu TV Wednesday edition of the Breakfast Show. This is me, Sheikh Njakwa Edgars, and indeed on the transmission desk we have Madam Miracle Chakubeba. The president of the Zambia National Student Union, Zanasu Innocent Nshindano, joined the ZNS Commander Malit Solochi and Mwanto Kabaso of the University of Zambia's Students Union to evaluate challenges facing the University of Zambia. The leaders met to explore practical measures aimed at addressing issues affecting students and the university community. In a joint statement, the unions made an open call to all stakeholders to support efforts towards resolving the challenges and improving conditions at the institution. Congratulations to the leaders, and this is the much awaited move, as you may have been to the University of Zambia, or better still, as you might have seen on the socials. There's been, an outcry from the highest learning institution and these other institutions with regards to sanitation, and it is good to see that the leaders came on board to see to it that this situation is amicably brought to a solution. And we sincerely appeal to the student populace. We are equally the beneficiaries. In fact, we are equally responsible, if not the most responsible, as these leaders are coming in to see to it that they provide a conducive environment for all of you to learn and live in. Please be responsible enough by maintaining. It is not all about you, but think of the next generation. When was UNZA built? UNZA was built, is it in the 1960s, somewhere there, in 1964 maybe, or earlier, by the Israelites. It's been a long time since it was built, but had those people had the mind of vandalizing the property, you wouldn't have had those facilities. So please, in as much as the leaders have attended to your outcry, please see to it that you also play a role in maintaining those facilities. This is not just going to UNZA, this is going to CBU, this is going to ICU, this is going to all the learning institutions. And We take a break, and when we come back, we dive into your favorite segment, which is the health and safety.
We are the dreamers reaching for the sky. At ICU, together we will rise. With knowledge and passion, we aim to achieve a future so bright, with more to believe. We're building
Are the best graduating students, masters in the School of Humanities.
won't be denied. From Lusaka to the world, we stand tall and strong.
Hi, I'm Genea Moyo, and I am ICU.
We're rising high with education.
Thank you so much for staying tuned to Icu TV's Breakfast Show. Now, what is an Icu TV Breakfast Show without health and fitness? Alrighty, so we're going to just dive into the quick home points that we can consider in order to see to it that we maintain a health and fitness lifestyle. With the first one being staying healthy doesn't need a gym. Simple walks or home exercises work. Self-explanatory. We also have taking the stairs or walk to nearby places to stay active. Sometimes your body is tired of sitting. I'm talking to my fellow media personnel and the much known drivers. It is not all about using your car, it is also about making sure that you just walk to shorter distances. Limit fast foods and sugary snacks, as they can harm your health. As you know, you might know it's not out the junky foods, the fast food. Sometimes just cook that home meal, as it will take you on a longer journey. Exercise also boosts your mood. Sometimes you might just wake up feeling low. It's not that your village people are at weight, it's about you not exercising. So spare the innocent village people and just see to it that you do small exercises, because the small habits eventually build to something bigger that you can appreciate in the long run. And small community activities like morning walks or weekend runs make fitness fun. You know, fitness is not a punishment, so do it small, begin small. Remember, in my preamble on what's on my mind, I said do not despise small beginnings. Even today, the 1st of April, if you feel like taking 2 steps, take those 2 steps, and guess what? Tomorrow you take 3, the other day 4, and you begin to build up just like that. Fitness is about overall health and not just appearance. Not just appearance, yes. The gym buddies, they want to look good. The athletes, they want to look good, and we are not going to take that away from them. I think the appearance improvement is just an addition, because the overall or the base is about you staying healthy. And make sure, as you are on this journey, to just, do regular health checkups. Go to the hospital, do that checkup, even if you're not feeling well. Even if you're not sick. It doesn't always have to be you being on a life support in order for you to see to it that you visit the health facility. No. Even when you're safe and sound, you might not know how funny these bodies of ours can act. And also, while at it, make sure you encourage your friends and family to stay active and eat well. Health is a team effort. The more the merrier. That is the game of health and fitness. Well, that is all we could accommodate on this morning's health and fitness. On the other side, we dive into sports. Stay tuned. To the sports fanatics, I've got a short word of advice to you. Just take a glass of water. Trust me, I've done the same. I'm saying this because of what was happening at 1 this morning, where our lovely our most reliable Chipolo Polo boys were facing Argentina. It's not a sorry sight, but we learn through mistakes. Now, the Zambia national football team has suffered a 5-0 defeat to reigning world champions Argentina national football team in an international friendly played in Buenos Aires. Despite a determined build-up to the match, the Chipolo Polo were outclassed by a dominant Argentine side, showcasing their quality on home soil. Now, interim head coach George Luandamina had earlier expressed confidence in his squad's readiness to compete, but the team struggled to contain the attacking threat posed by the hosts. Now, Captain Fashion Sakala and his teammates faced a difficult night with Argentina's star power, including global icon Lionel Messi, proving too strong. Now, the result serves as a tough learning experience for Zambia as players like Tinkla Sakala and Kelvin Mwanza continue to gain valuable international exposure. Now, this is what was happening. I've seen a lot of, commentaries on social media, be it Facebook, TikTok, even Instagram, and especially the WhatsApp statuses. It's like we all did not sleep. Well, I slept. But all in all, it is one Zambia, one nation, one Chipolo Polo, one team, one soccer. Next time, you're definitely doing the most. We have the trending aspect after this short break. This is the Icu TV Breakfast Show Wednesday edition on the very first day of April 2026. Now, what is this show without covering our dear trending fanatics? Now, we have quite a lot to unpack as we are starting off with the TikTok content creator Elton's Chilangamlelo taking social media by storm, and as you can see, it was a beautiful event. Liana was there. These celebrities, Mutale Mwanza, mentioned them. They were there, and allow me to just take this opportunity to just appreciate my brother Joe Arts. Brother man, you did justice to those pictures, and I couldn't help but admire. And congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Elton, and make sure you just make the Lord the center of your marriage. And I'm sure a lot of people are looking up to you, and all the best in your union. This is quite an amazing thing, because a lot of the social media personalities shared and took to their respective pages messages of congratulations to you, and from the Icu TV we are saying congratulations. And moving on, this is now a little tricky because it is a battle of the lenses. So I'm talking all things photographers Andy Luki Jr. and Chela Tukuta facing tight comparisons over Komboka ceremony pictures. If you were in Mongu in Western Province, Kukomboka ceremony, you know what I'm talking about. Or even if you weren't there, at least you could have phone and you were on Facebook. As you can see, there are pictures, in fact, particularly two pictures that you are seeing on the screen right now. One was taken or shot by Andy Luki Jr. and the other one was shot by Chela Tukuta Photography. Now, a lot of people were, doing the much needed comparisons. Now, creative comparisons and creative criticism is okay, but do not take things too personal. And one thing that you need to know is photography is an art, and art is something that is very subjective. These photographers, in my opinion, they are great photographers. They are both international photographers with admirable CVs to would-be and upcoming photographers, and they tell stories based on what they feel and how they envision their anticipation, their rule of thirds, their lighting, their lenses, totally different, but serving one goal, which is to inform, to entertain, and to make sure that the memories are frozen for future references. When you look at Andy Luki was telling a story uniquely, as well as Chela, he was telling a story uniquely. So the other story was more of indigenous, while the other story was more of modern. So we can't compare the two. It's like me comparing my growth, comparing me being a Gen Z growing up in the 21st century to my father's generation, which is practically impossible, because these two generations are important, serving a purpose in shaping the next generation. So each photographer is important, as they serve different purposes in order to see to it that the balance and taste is served. We all can't like Chela, we all can't like Andy, but at the end of the day, we have our preferences. And a lot of people had a lot to say in the comment sections, and one of the comments that stood out was a man saying, and a certain woman saying, to say, you know what, these photographers are good in their own rights. Do not, and this is one thing about the Zambian audiences, I think they thrive on negative energy, and let's not do this. It's a new month, and let's move on to the next story. This is coming from UNZA, the University of Zambia. The UNZA blocked the Great East Road in a protest over sanitation issues. This is in a story that I read, where ZNS, ZANASU, and UNZASU and other relevant authorities have come on board in order to see to it that this issue is brought to a possible solution. Students, there is always a better way of communicating. Let's not always resort to protests. No, we need to break certain infrastructure. We need to block the road. We are affecting innocent people. We have authorities and channels of communications for a reason. So please, let's not always do that. And speaking of UNZA, we have a sad story coming all the way from the University of Zambia, where Emmanuel, a student, has died as he allegedly drowned in these sewer dams or sewer blockages. May his soul rest in eternal peace. And away from the University of Zambia, we're still on a sad note, where stories of missing people are on the rise. Let's be our brothers and sisters keeper, and the world is quite too small, and it will be so boring if we keep losing people. On Monday, I was looking at a story of a missing guy from Chamboli, and today in the morning I'm looking at a story of another man who has gone missing. Please, let's see to it that we provide the much needed information to the relevant people. And this is just a word of assurance: the relevant authorities are not sleeping on these cases. Those people that are behind these perpetual missing of people, disappearances of people, will be brought to justice. And that is all we could accommodate on this morning's trending segment. And on the other side, I close the show. Thank you so much for watching the ICU TV's Breakfast Show today, the very first day of April 2026. And you've been an amazing audience. We know you watch, we see you watching, we see you commenting, we see you sharing, and let's keep the fire burning. Make sure to see to it that you come on board, even with regards to partnerships. Do you want to sponsor our haircuts? Do you want to sponsor our wardrobe? We are open for collaboration. ICU TV is a media house standing at over 60,000 followers on this very page that you're looking at, and we can give you value for your brand. We offer media consultancy, we offer photography, event coverage, name it. The list is endless. And on our notice board, we have various shows. We have Artbeat, we have the very show that you are watching right now, the Icu TV Breakfast Show. It comes to you on Monday, Wednesday, as well as Friday. We have our lunchtime news that comes to you on your comes to your screens every day, Monday to Friday at 12 hours, representing various casters, as well as our menus that comes to you every day at 20 hours. We also have Sports Smarts by Steven Tisengamwape every Friday, and even the Zambia Chipolo Polo and Argentina story will be reviewed on Friday. So make sure your bundles, your comments, take note of everything, as Steven Tisengamwape is coming to just see to it that this game is analyzed. Tomorrow, Thursday, I am coming to you with Artbeat with yet another interesting story. And as we are stepping into the Easter holiday, we have an interesting content coming your way. Thank you so much. On the transmission box, I've had Miracle Chakubeba Msonda, and this is Misha Kinjakwa Edgars. Stay tuned for more programming. Thank you and good morning.